All right. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Thomas. I'm from Long Island.
All right, Long Island. What can you tell us about Long Island?
Pretty boring. A lot
Pretty
of.
boring. So you escaped Long Island
I did. I was supposed to meet my friend around 1-ish, and then she told me she wasn't getting here around 4.
today?
So just killing time walking around
Okay.
Washington. Washington Square Park is my favorite.
Yeah. What do you like about Washington Square Park?
It's just always alive. Always you see people doing random whatever.
So I assume you come here a lot.
No, actually, this is like my 4th time here.
Oh, really?
My first time it was Pride 2019.
Uh-huh.
That was very busy. That was cool.
I've only started coming here myself recently. What is the difference like between the park here in the summertime and the wintertime, like right now?
Obviously, the crowds. There's not as many people as there would be, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
But
So you have been here in the summertime.
yeah,
Is there a lot more people in the summertime?
yeah, usually, yeah. And COVID probably definitely is going to impact that in summer coming forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot more people, and even like I see a circle of soccer ball guys doing that. There's a lot more of that in the summer too.
And I think like school has a lot to do with it as well because the students are gone,
Yeah,
and it just feels like suddenly people got a lot older once the winter holiday came in.
yeah.
Okay, now do you want to do general questions or dating questions?
General or what?
General questions or dating questions?
Dating?
Yeah.
You can do dating.
All right, let's do dating questions. Now I hear the word vibes a lot. What does that mean to you?
Just like the energy, like some people they just give off a aura of being personable or like approachable, and some people are just kind of skeevy, and I feel like it's kind of important when you're with another person.
Creepy is another word that comes up.
Yeah,
What does that mean to you when someone says they're creepy?
just like they're off-putting, they're very kind of standoffish, not very approachable.
What is the secret to not being creepy? Because some people they're creepy, but they don't want to be creepy. They can't help it. They don't want to be creepy.
Sure.
They're hoping to be a little bit less creepy.
Well,
How should they go about that?
I've been told I'm pretty personable and approachable. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I wear my emotions on my face a lot. Like if I see a dog or something, or if I see something happy or nice, I'll smile and I won't be shy about it. And a lot of people hold a lot of stuff in and just aren't willing to put that out to the world.
Okay, now first impressions. I ask you this question because I had a couple come on here, and the man said he asked the woman out the first time, she rejected him, and he ran into her again months later and tried to talk to her again and succeeded. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it happens. Sometimes people don't see something about a person that on a first impression they don't recognize a trait a person has, and then if they're a little bit more persistent, a little more emboldened, it's more likely to come out.
So you think people need to become more familiarized with a person before giving them a chance?
I think people need to take more of a chance when they're approaching someone. Something I find a lot is like with the people I date, they're like, if I'm texting them, they're texting me a lot, they'll be like, I'm sorry if I'm annoying you, or I don't want to be too pushy. Like, don't be meek. Just say what you want to say. Don't be bold. No, do be bold. Don't be withholding.
Now, what are your thoughts on men approaching women in public, like this right here? Let's say you see a woman you like all the way across there, and well, not you, but like,
Yeah.
there's people who do that
Yeah.
here. What are your thoughts on that?
I've certainly done that.
Mhm.
As long as you're respectful and not being like gross or like making inappropriate moves to like touch them or anything, then yeah, by all means, that's how people meet people.
Because I've never done that before.
Yeah.
People that I've sort of asked out have been people that I see, from time to time, and it's
Sure.
not just completely random or strangers or anything like that. Because there are people who only will meet people through other people they know.
Yeah, and that's the bulk of people I've been with romantically. But sometimes it's worth it to take a shot.
Now, online dating, what are your thoughts?
I don't love it. I made my first relationship through Tinder, and it worked out great. She was awesome. It was really nice, but I think a lot of it, that if you're falling in love with your first impression through a screen, I just feel like there's a lot more. It can be a lot more negatively impacted.
Mhm. So, what are some of the dating apps out there? You got any reviews for us?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Do you have any reviews for us regarding the online dating apps? Like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge?
Yeah, I mean, they're mostly good for hookups.
What are the
Okay,
advantages and disadvantages of using them?
you meet a lot more people, even if it doesn't go anywhere, you still meet people. I've met people through Tinder, whatever. Nothing happened, but I still met people, which is awesome.
What is the secret to creating that profile on these dating apps?
Don't put what you think other people want to see. You know, like I'm kind of I guess an old soul. I guess I don't love sports or anything, or like more of a movie person. My Tinder bio is don't swipe right if you can't do a Sudoku. Like I make it clear what kind of person I'm trying to attract from the beginning. I don't want any false pretenses.
Now, what are you looking for in a woman?
Someone who gets me. Not even, we don't have to share every single hobby, trait, whatever. As long as, like, I guess it's all about toleration. If I can tolerate what they're doing, she can tolerate what I'm doing, and still love each other, then that's important.
Tolerance. That's good. That's the first time anyone's ever said that.
Yeah.
Now, how long should a guy wait once he gets a woman's phone number?
I kind of don't believe in the whole waiting thing. I do it because I'm insecure, and but if it's someone I really like, I won't wait. I'll text her the next day, or I won't wait.
I've heard people say 1 hour.
Yeah.
Somebody said like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I get all kinds of answers.
Like I have friends, they'll get a text from someone they like, and they'll ask me like, how long should I wait to respond to this? I'm like, just respond. That's
Now, when you see a woman and she wants you to approach her, what kind of signals is she sending out to you? Is she making eye contact? Is she smiling? What is she doing?
eye contact is the biggest thing I've realized. Like, it's one thing if they look at you or whatever. If they're actually like continuously making eye contact, I pick up on that.
Now, let's turn that around. Let's say you're checking out a girl across this park. You like her.
Yeah.
She doesn't like you. What kind of signals is she sending to you? She looking away? She walking away? She running away? What is she doing? You like her, but she doesn't like you.
Well, I'll kind of do the same thing. Like, give a look, give a smile, maybe. If there's no response, I'll leave it at that. No sweat up.
No, I mean, what signals is she sending you? Is she looking away? Is she running away? What is she doing?
Oh, yeah. If she like,
She's not interested.
If she's-
but you're interested in her.
if she's not if I clearly make eye contact and she's like not having it, she's not looking back, then I won't pursue it.
How long does it take for you to like someone from the time you know of them?
Not long.
Quick.
Like I said, my first relationship through Tinder, we spoke for a week online, and I already knew that I liked her, and didn't take long.
Now, why do women like bad boys?
I think they like someone who they can fix. That's something I've heard a lot. Like, they date a bad boy so they can kind of discover their sensitive side and try and make that the forefront of their personality.
Okay, now, let's say a woman likes you. You don't like her. How do you set it up to where you just want to be friends? How would you set that up? Well, you think she's cool as a friend, though. You're like, oh, she's cool. I want to hang out with her like she's one of the dudes.
Yeah.
How do you set that up?
If she's not explicitly being like, hey, I like you, I want to go out with you, I'll just kind of say nothing and then hope she kind of takes the hint. And if she said, I want to be something with you and I really didn't feel the same way, I would just tell her. I don't want to lead her on or anything.
No, final dating question here. Can opposites attract? Let's say you're like an artsy guy, right?
Yeah.
The woman is like a scientific type person.
Yeah.
And let's say you're a night guy. You like going out at night. She goes to bed early. She wakes up early. Can can those two types of people actually date? Because I was doing an interview with one woman, and she said that if a guy dates me, she has to become friends with my friends. She has to do the things
Yeah.
that I do. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's necessarily true. I also don't think opposites necessarily always attract. I think they definitely can if their opposites complement one another. But I mean,
So it could work if you live two different lifestyles.
yeah, it's like a puzzle piece. Like sometimes, like they don't look the same, but they fit. But I mean, referring to today's climate, I'm pretty sure a Trump supporter would not date a Biden supporter. In that, it depends on context.
That's why I never talk about politics.
Yeah.
Even in these interviews, I don't talk about politics. I don't get into all that. Now, skip any questions you want to skip. You want to go into the general questions now?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Where were you coming from before you came to the farm?
Long Island.
Oh, you came from Long Island. You took
Yeah.
the train out here.
Yep. Just kind of needed to get
Where are
out.
you going once you leave the park?
My friend's apartment by just over by Madison Square Garden.
Right. Okay. Now, if you weren't in New York, where would you be living?
Ooh. Canada maybe. Or
Why Canada?
good pot.
Oh,
Also
you don't
re-
mind the cold though.
Oh, sorry. Good people. I
Good
do
people?
know. They have a lot of heart.
You go there a lot?
I've never been, but
Oh, you
I do
never-
know. I do know a couple people from Canada.
Okay, that's a big jump though, big dive. Just moving right over there before you ever go there.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Ooh, strengths. I'm very independent and also very loyal. I hold on to people close to me. And I guess my weaknesses, I can get very insecure and I'm very indecisive.
Good answer. Now, can you do a New York accent?
Probably not. I'm terrible at accents.
Most people can. I think
Yeah.
I've only had like 4 or 5 people successfully do the New York
When I think
accent.
of that, I kind of want to do a Boston accent, but that's
You want to do a
not.
Boston accent? It's hard. New York accents are hard to do.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Brooklyn,
Yeah. Or you sort of get it a lot out in Long Island.
yeah, I got a very Long Island, very,
No, I mean out there's a lot of people that speak with that New York accent.
Yeah.
More than here, surprisingly enough.
I mean, here's a smorgasbord. You got everyone of everyone.
Yeah. A lot of people from all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, next question. Peer pressure, how has that affected you in life? If at all.
Probably a lot, but I like to think that I like to make my own choices in any context. You know, I don't like to be pressured.
Game changers, have you had anything happen to you in life to make you want to change the way you live your life?
Could I get kind of heavy with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple months ago, I was on a little trip and I was assaulted sexually, and
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
and I don't mean to diminish my own trauma, but I've heard, their stories. It was not nearly as bad as it could have been. Sucked.
So you
but
coped with it.
yeah, I kind of learned that I was down for a little bit, and I realized I didn't want that to be a defining point in my life. I'm 19 years old. I have so much more life to live. It's not worth it.
That's great because a lot of people let that get in the way and they're like, oh, I'm just going to stay in because I'm scared. I don't want it to happen to me again.
Yeah, and I wasn't traumatized. I get that. And I'm not going to say it didn't impact me because it did, but I learned to use it,
So you kept on living your life.
Yeah.
You didn't like go into hiding.
Maybe
Some people would go into hiding, and you can't really blame them because they're not going to trust people the same way they used to.
I maybe
Would you
did a
say that
little
happened to
bit.
you or no?
I maybe did a little bit, kind of go into a little, I guess, hermit case, but not long. I took my time, dealt with it, and I kind of learned to grow from it.
So you still trust people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of people, they take a long time to get over that, and that's like robbing them, right? That robs them of their youth, of their life. But I'm glad that you were able
Thank you.
to make it through that.
I also know that the person who did that to me is not everyone. That's not a reason to shut people out.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, How important is marriage to you?
I mean, important. I mean, companionship in terms of significant other, I think, is very important. I don't know how much I trust marriage just because of all the stories of what I've seen, everything. But I don't hate monogamy at all. I think it's pretty important.
How about ancestry? How important is that to you? Because a lot of people are doing DNA tests and paying $100, and they get a letter back saying, you know,
Sure.
your ancestors from here, there, or the other.
I think it's important to know where you come from, but again, not let it define you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. What is the... Do you come to this park often?
This is like my third or fourth time
Okay,
here.
yeah, I already asked you that. Do you
Yeah.
speak any foreign languages?
Barely any Spanish.
Okay, now, next question. Where have you been? Have you traveled to any countries,
I've
states?
been pretty around. I've been to Alaska. I know it's not a country, but it's out there. Alaska, Panama, British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos, Italy, Ireland, Prague, France, and where was it? Athens.
What was Alaska like?
I was very young when I was in Alaska, but it was definitely more of a cultural reset than you would think. Like, you would think because it's America, it's at least semi-normal. I didn't get that vibe at all.
Because it gets like, in the summertime, it's like daylight all day,
Yeah,
right?
it's never.
It doesn't get dark.
Yep.
Now, where would you like to go in the future?
I'd like to see Thailand at least once.
Phuket?
What's that?
Phuket?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular tourist destination.
I also really want to backpack across Europe at some point.
Now, next question. Can you do any impersonations?
I can do Kermit the Frog.
You're the third person to do that.
No.
No, let's hear it.
You know the song Rainbow Connection? Why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side?
Bravo. How do you know you can trust a business? Because there's so many businesses out there. You don't know if you can trust. I mean, a lot of businesses, they say they can do a job, but they can't really do the job. Or even like, let's say a barber, right? Some of these barbers, you go in there, you say, okay, I want to cut it I want half an inch off, okay?
Yeah.
And they take like an inch off. So they can't take instructions. They don't know. They want to do what they think looks good or what they want to do.
Yeah.
How do you know you can trust them? Because sometimes you can read like their body language.
Yeah.
You can see like if they seem impatient. What are you looking for?
I guess going off the haircut example, I guess during the process, I'm not really looking for anything. I kind of just deal with the after effects. Like you said, like they end up taking an inch off. Obviously, can't do their job. Not that they can't do their job, but they do their job poorly. I know that now. I have personal experience with them. I'm not gonna go back to them.
So you don't go by word of mouth or reviews, anything like that?
If there's like a major, like scale, like the whole Facebook thing when that was happening, yeah, at that point I became a little weary of Facebook because of like the mass like attention it was getting. But on a intimate level, it's my personal experience with them.
Now let me ask you something political here. What do you think about that whole thing that happened yesterday? Because that was huge, okay?
Horrible.
The people who I guess they bombarded the Capitol. Was it the Capitol or the White House?
Capitol,
I don't
yeah.
know.
It was Capitol.
What do you make of that situation?
I think it's incredibly scary, and I can understand what they were feeling and why they were feeling it. If they were really passionate about, I'm a Democrat. I voted for Biden, but that doesn't mean I hate everyone who voted for Trump or everyone who didn't vote for Biden. If you really strongly believe that another candidate is the wrong choice, you just can't bring yourself to vote for them, by all means, I will fight for your right to do that. But when you take it further and actively attack a political building while numerous political figures are inside, it's too far.
Because that's only the second time in history that's ever happened.
Yep. I saw a post or whatever, a Confederate flag was in the building for the first time, I think, ever, even during the War of
Really?
1812. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is definitely makes you a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Even if you're not political, it just feels like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? You know, because they said it was like huge. Okay?
Yeah.
And
4 people died.
and they were talking about how this might be like a regular thing that they're gonna do. So what are your thoughts or projections of the future? Because I talked to my mother about this, and she's like, yeah, this is as big as it's gonna get, and it's gonna die down. But my prediction was, and I heard this on the radio as well, that they were gonna keep. This was like a practice run.
Yeah.
They're trying to do it even bigger and more effective the next time. What are your thoughts?
It definitely feels to me that we've entered an era of our political being that we're coming towards the end of something, which definitely scares me a lot. I think we just kind of have to, the normal people just need to do our best, permeate the idea of non-aggression, peaceful coercion, and yeah, just
So you're optimistic. You think they're gonna
Cautiously.
the far right's gonna settle down?
I mean, during the whole BLM riots and everything, those died down. And I don't know if this is only the beginning of the right wing's crazy rioting movement, but I feel, while there's still a lot of work to be done, the BLM movement has made a lot of headway, and hopefully the right wing can make that same kind of progress without tearing anything down.
Now, let me ask you this. What are some good places to film videos like this in New York?
Times Square, I would guess. There's a lot going on there. Or maybe the meatpacking industry. Is it the industry?
Okay.
Area.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, oh, I love it down there.
Any specific parts of the meatpacking industry?
No, I honestly don't know the city that well.
Yeah, me neither.
But I just remember I was there once a couple years ago. It was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you have any special talents?
None that come to mind, but my psych professor once asked me to come to the front of the lecture and hold a pole on my finger, stand on one foot, and whistle a song, just because, like, to confuse cognitive pathways, like, wasn't supposed to be able to happen, and I did it. So
That's impressive.
thank you.
So you said you're a student, right?
I am.
What advice do you have for the freshmen?
It's not that deep. It's important. I'm not gonna say it's not important, but it's not worth losing sleep and stressing out incredibly over.
Because there's a lot of people who put in a lot of preparation
Yeah.
before they go to school.
I
I
certainly-
had one guy come on here saying that he worked the whole summer just so he could have enough money so he wouldn't have to work a part-time job once
Yeah.
he started university.
Yeah. No, it's hard. Balance would be another thing for sure. Like you said, like part-time job, paying for stuff.
Now, what is that like? Are you going to classes online now? Is that how it works?
I am at Syracuse University, so we are on campus. We go back in February, but it's a mix. Some of my classes are online, some of them are in the halls.
What do you like and dislike about Syracuse? Because most of the people only know Syracuse for the sports.
Yeah, it's a really tight knit group. Not that we're tight knit. Everyone there shares the same sense of camaraderie. Like,
Sense of community.
I don't know if you know about this, but recently there's been a lot of, not recently, last year there was a lot of controversy in terms of racial slurs, and like it was bad for a minute, but that didn't stop us for a minute from being proud that we went to Syracuse. You know, we totally did not endorse any of that behavior, but that whole time I never didn't want to be at Syracuse.
So people still get along.
Yeah.
Now, is there a lot of fraternities over there, or?
Yeah, I think there are 8 or 9 on-campus fraternities and then a bunch off-campus.
So you're not a part of that.
I'm not. I almost joined, but I decided to focus on my studies.
How did you end up choosing Syracuse? Because there's so many universities out there.
I applied to the ones I visited. Those are the ones I liked the most. And for me, it was between BC, Delaware, and Syracuse. Didn't get it.
Did you visit before you went, or
I visited before I
overnight?
applied.
Did you go the overnight thing?
Yeah.
So they gave you a good impression,
Yeah.
and you decided to go. Sometimes that matters, you know, like
Yeah, absolutely.
you visit, you stay with the right person, and they give you a good impression of the school,
Yeah.
and then you decide to apply. Whereas if you had like stayed with the wrong person, maybe you're like, oh, this place is not
Yeah.
what I had
was
in mind.
I was supposed to go to Delaware, and then some stuff changed. I ended up going to Syracuse, but I do not regret the change at all.
That's great. That's great. Now, next question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Cool. Moved out of my parents' house.
So you got your own crib at
Yeah.
this point.
Nice.
Where are you gonna be at? You still gonna be in New York or somewhere else?
I'll definitely be out of Long Island, hopefully. But
But you'll still be in the state somewhere.
maybe. I have no idea. I haven't really
You're
thought
gonna be
about
married with kids. What are you gonna have?
it. Don't know that I'll ever have kids, and if I do, definitely not 5 years from now. But I guess I see myself with someone.
Now, what kind of career would you be doing?
Well, right now I'm a major in psychology BS, and maybe my
Maybe a psychologist.
my optimal goal, the goal that would yield the best for me at this point is I would maybe end up working at my high school in Long Island as a guidance counselor.
Somewhere where you're familiar with.
Yeah.
That's good. I heard they pay well there.
I also want to. My plan when I graduate 2023, I plan on, if I do end up going to grad school, I'm gonna 2-year break. I want to do the Peace Corps.
Oh, Peace Corps.
Yeah.
Where at? In Africa?
Haven't thought that out yet, but I just know I have a friend who wants to go with me, and I want to go, so I'll figure it out.
That's cool. So you got a plan. Now, what kind of videos do you usually watch?
I don't really. I'm not a huge YouTube person. I'm more of a TV guy.
You're a Netflix guy?
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this. What were you doing during the lockdown? How did you make use of that time?
Absolutely nothing.
You did nothing?
Not at all. I was in my room a
You
lot.
didn't work out or anything?
I dieted.
You dieted?
Yeah, I only did
Mm-hmm.
vegetables and chicken for like 3 months.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Staying healthy.
Yeah, a lot of walks, but not really like working out or anything.
Now, what motivates you in life?
Being free, being able to make my own choices with not at the expense of anyone else. I'll never choose myself at the expense of someone else, but I just want to be able to make my own choices with little to no regard.
Is Facebook still relevant?
I've never been on Facebook, so no.
What impression do you have of Facebook, even though you've never used it? I mean, you talked a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah.
What else can you say about it?
My mom uses it and my grandparents use it, so that's how I kind of regard it. Just
It's outdated
yeah,
for the previous generation, not this generation.
yeah, because it's been around a lot longer than like Instagram and everything, so they've had more time to figure that out.
What apps do you use?
Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder. I'm very big on that game Wordscapes. Play that.
Wordscape? What is that?
It's given like a couple letters, 6 or 7 letters. It makes a word, but it also makes a bunch of other words. So you gotta it's like a word scramble kind of thing.
It's almost like a crossword puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's something for you to do when you're like sitting on the train. for
Exactly, yeah. And I also have a Sudoku app on my phone, same kind of thing.
example. That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Let's say you were doing an interview. What kind of questions would you ask? What are you curious about as far as what these people out there are doing?
Probably a lot of what you asked in terms of just both the general and the dating questions. I'm very interested in people's personal lives.
Yeah.
Or if I was interviewing someone on something specific, probably something like psychology or even what happened yesterday, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Psychologists, that's what they do. I almost forgot about that. They kind of get to the core of people's problems, why they think the way they think, why they're having certain kinds of problems.
Just make connections.
So can you tell if someone's crazy or not? Is that even the right word for it? Because sometimes I look at some of these people, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's crazy, that guy's crazy.
For me, it's a lot of the eyes. If they're very like just very visibly not well, I'll be like, all right, they're kind of yikes. But no, everyone's got their own demons. Everyone's got their own shit going on. So I don't know.
Some people they just look very angry.
Yeah.
Or when they're talking on the phone, they sound very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. mental illness is definitely a very big problem, and it will be a very challenging
Yeah, very
job.
significant. And I'm glad a lot more people are paying attention to it now. Like,
Yeah.
it was basically never really even a thing, mental health, until a couple years ago. People started actually paying attention.
Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of those like political extremists, some of them they come here and protest. Actually, there's a lot of them that come here. A lot of them are mentally ill too.
Yeah.
You could sort of see it in their eyes and
What
just
they do,
like
yeah.
how it just consumes them. You know what I mean? It's just like I used to be one of those people, and I sort of had to pull myself away because I saw how crazy these people got with the politics, and I said that's definitely not who I want to be. That's not what I want to be at. So I just pretty much I dropped politics. I don't really talk about it very much anymore. Now, do you make any videos?
I don't.
Are you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. Forgot that.
Who do you follow?
Mostly my friends.
So you're not big on the influencer.
Influencers, no. I'll follow like celebrities I see in movies and stuff, but I'm actually
Because they're always pushing The Rock on TikTok, and they're pushing Will Smith all the time.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
they keep showing up on my thing, on my feed. I'm like, I'm not even into those guys.
Yeah. I think I saw a couple Will Smith ones actually. Now I think about it.
Now, do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have one on my hip right here that's very faded though. It's almost gone. And then I have one on my ankle right here.
What do they mean to you?
Well, one on my hip is a circle with an X through it, which was, I got it because I was literally just because I was bored. And then the one on my ankle, it's a rectangle, and then a triangle, and then a crescent. And it's these, I used to go to a summer camp in Maine called Camp Agawam.
Is that in Massachusetts?
There is one in Massachusetts, but no, mine is in Maine.
Okay.
I forget what the symbol means. Actually, it has meaning, but I had it put on upside down, so it's upside down on my ankle.
So when you see it, it's right side up.
Yeah, which I feel it was an accident, but I'm happy it was done that way because we had like council fires. It was when I told people about it, they had no idea, like they didn't get it at all. So that's kind of how it reflects me through the tattoo. Everyone sees it, they see a bunch of upside down marks.
Yeah.
I look at it, I know what it actually means.
Right. So it's like a secret thing, secret society.
Exactly.
Now, what is your biggest accomplishment in life?
Biggest accomplishment? Graduating high school. I wasn't a huge student, and I am more
Were you
now.
a good student?
I wasn't a bad student, but my sophomore year I almost failed out. I did better later in the year, but I wasn't crazy about school.
You straightened yourself out.
I
You
did.
decided you wanted to graduate and you had to do what you had to do. Now you said, let's go back to the summer camp. What's it like to go to summer camp?
Summer camp?
Yeah. Because
It
I've
was
never
awesome.
been to summer camp. What's it like?
I'll tell you.
Is it even worth it? It's expensive, isn't it?
It can be, yeah. I will say this, Camp Agawam in Maine, they do a great program where they get donations, and for a week in the summer they get a bunch of kids who wouldn't be able to afford it. They bring in a bunch of kids from Maine, give them a week at camp. It's awesome. It's called the Maine Idea Program. It's amazing.
So it's like almost like financial aid.
Yeah, exactly. But camp was 7 weeks at a time, and I loved it. I thought it was the best. Because not that I was a loser in high school or in middle school by any means, but I didn't have many friends, and when I was at camp, I was just a completely different person.
Really? It brought out the best in you.
Yeah, it was head
That's
honcho,
a
it was
game
the
changer
best.
right there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have even known that side of you if it wasn't for summer camp.
Oh, not at all. I think I would be in a very different place right now if I hadn't gone.
So you do recommend it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, actually, I will say, some of them can be weird. Some of them are not for everyone. Even the one I went to wasn't for everyone. But I think it can be a very cathartic experience. Yeah.
What was I gonna ask you? Oh, so you would recommend it to other people, then you said?
Yeah. If they found themselves with the free time and they wanted to meet people, yeah. I met people from all over the world at this camp.
That's awesome. Because a lot of people do go to Maine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of New Yorkers like going to Maine. I never knew that until I started doing this. Then a lot of people said they went to Maine.
The communities in Maine are kind of crummy looking, but it is one of the most beautiful states, I think. It's
especially in the summertime.
Definitely.
Not so much in the winter.
Yeah.
Too cold. Now, do you want to plug any of your social media?
What's that?
Do you want to plug any of your social media? Where can we find you online?
Oh, sure. Find me at Patrick Fitzsimmons at Patrick period Fitzsimmons on Instagram. And,
Very straightforward username.
yeah.
Not hard to find. Now, do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
I already shouted out Camp Agawam. My mom, my dad.
Fantastic. Do I have your permission to put this online?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.